Welcome to Calm Curiosities, a place for gentle stories, quiet thoughts, and soft moments to help you drift peacefully towards sleep. If this kind of content helps you relax, you're warmly invited to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn off the lights, get comfortable, settle in, and we'll begin. A gentle journey through ancient libraries. Good evening, and welcome to a quiet wander through time, through dust-lit corridors and long-forgotten rooms filled with thought, memory, and ink. Tonight, there is nowhere to rush to, nothing to solve, nothing required of you. Just listen and allow your mind to drift as we step softly into the stillness of ancient libraries. Imagine a heavy wooden door, its iron hinges cool beneath your fingers, the surface worn smooth by centuries of careful hands. You press gently, and it opens with a low, patient creak, revealing a vast chamber beyond. The air is calm here, thick with the scent of aged parchment, dried leather bindings, and the faint trace of candle smoke that once flickered late into the night. Tall windows stretch toward a vaulted ceiling, and moonlight pours through delicate stone arches, spilling silver patterns across the floor. Dust particles float lazily in the pale beams, drifting without hurry, like tiny travelers suspended in time. You step inside, footsteps softened by woven rugs, each movement absorbed into the deep hush of the room. This is a place where silence is respected, where whispers feel too loud, and even your breathing seems to settle into something slower, quieter, more deliberate. Rows upon rows of shelves rise around you, crafted from dark oak, polished by age rather than effort. They hold thousands of books, scrolls, bundles of manuscripts tied with fading ribbon. Some volumes lean gently against one another, as though resting, while others stand perfectly upright, orderly and composed. Each one holds a voice from the past, a thought preserved, a moment of human history carefully captured in ink. You walk forward slowly, fingertips brushing along the spines. The textures change beneath your touch. Smooth leather, cracked calfskin, rough cloth bindings, cool metal clasps. Some are warm with reddish tones, others deep brown, and some nearly black, their titles pressed in fading gold leaf. There is no urgency here. Knowledge waits patiently. Time moves differently inside places like this, as though the outside world has agreed, just for a while, to soften its pace. A long wooden table rests at the center of the room, its surface illuminated by a cluster of low candles. Their flames sway gently, not from wind, but from the quiet shifts of air as you pass. Pools of warm light gather on the tabletop, revealing maps drawn by careful hands, delicate ink lines tracing rivers, mountains, and ancient trade routes. An open manuscript lies nearby, its pages slightly curled, edges uneven, ink faded to a soft brown. The handwriting is elegant, measured, each letter shaped with intention and patience. You pause beside it, not to read, but simply to appreciate the presence of it, the quiet dedication it represents. Somewhere in the distance, a page turns, softly, almost like fabric brushing against fabric. The sound echoes faintly through the high chamber, then dissolves into stillness once more. You continue walking. A spiral staircase reveals itself between the shelves, its stone steps curved by centuries of use. A slender railing guides the way upward, cool and smooth beneath your palm. As you ascend, the air grows slightly cooler, and the quiet deepens further. From above, the library reveals its true scale. Balconies circle the walls, layer upon layer of knowledge rising toward the ceiling, like a cathedral devoted not to sound, but to thought. Candles glow in distant alcoves, tiny constellations of amber light, guiding unseen readers through private worlds of study and reflection. You reach the upper gallery and move along its edge slowly, looking down at the vastness below. From here, everything feels peaceful, ordered, timeless. You notice narrow archways leading into smaller chambers, each one quieter than the last. You choose one at random, drawn not by purpose, but by curiosity softened into calm. Inside, the lighting dims, shelves grow closer together, and the ceiling lowers slightly, creating a comforting sense of enclosure. A single lantern glows on a small desk, its glass gently misted with warmth. Beside it rests a collection of scrolls, their parchment rolled around slender wooden rods. One lies partially open, revealing careful illustrations of stars and planetary paths. Tiny dots of ink map constellations known to ancient astronomers, their careful observations preserved across generations. You sit for a moment, the chair sturdy, its wood cool and grounding, and you simply breathe in slowly and out. The library breathes with you, a sanctuary of quiet thought, a refuge from noise, a reminder that human minds have always searched for meaning and left gentle traces for others to find. There is comfort in this continuity, in knowing that centuries ago, someone sat just as you are now, turning pages carefully, absorbed in quiet discovery. The lantern flickers slightly, casting soft shadows that dance along the curved walls. Nothing startles here. Nothing demands attention. Everything invites stillness. And as you rise to continue your wandering, you feel lighter, unburdened, as though the weight of the modern world has been set gently aside. You step back into the gallery, ready to explore further, deeper into this peaceful archive of human memory. You continue along the upper gallery, your footsteps measured, softened by layers of time and dust. The wooden floor beneath you holds a gentle warmth, as though it remembers the presence of countless, quiet visitors. Scholars wrapped in wool cloaks, scribes carrying bundles of parchment, keepers of knowledge moving patiently between shelves. A faint golden glow spills from wall-mounted lanterns, their light steady and calm, casting long, peaceful shadows that stretch across the walkway. You pass alcoves filled with carefully arranged collections, histories of distant empires, philosophies debated across generations, poetry written by candlelight during long forgotten winters. Each section feels like a doorway, not just to information, but to the minds of those who once lived, who once wondered, who once searched for understanding beneath the very same stars. The air carries a comforting stillness, undisturbed by urgency. Even time itself feels padded here, its sharp edges softened into something gentle and kind. Your hand glides along the railing as you walk, the polished wood smooth and reassuring beneath your palm. Looking down once more, you see a lone figure seated far below, head bowed slightly, absorbed in quiet reading. There is something deeply peaceful about shared silence, about the unspoken understanding that this place is for reflection, for slow thought, for careful learning. You continue onward until you notice a narrow passageway between two towering shelves. It would be easy to miss, just a sliver of shadow between volumes bound in dark leather. Curiosity guides you closer. As you step inside, the sounds of the larger library fade gently behind you, like waves receding from a quiet shore. The passage opens into a circular room, smaller, warmer, and illuminated by a domed skylight high above. Moonlight filters through delicate glass panes, casting pale silver patterns across curved stone walls. Here the shelves are lower, arranged in a perfect ring, each one holding manuscripts older than memory. Their bindings are delicate, stitched by hand with fine thread, their pages uneven and softly rippled with age. At the center of the room stands a round table, carved from pale oak, its surface smooth and welcoming. A single candle rests there, its flame calm and unwavering, surrounded by scattered sheets of parchment filled with sketches and notes. Ink drawings depict ancient machines, intricate astronomical charts, architectural designs of towering structures that once touched the sky. You walk slowly around the table, observing the quiet brilliance captured on every page. These were ideas formed in stillness, born not from noise or distraction, but from patience, focus, and the gentle persistence of curiosity. You pause beneath the skylight. Above, the night sky stretches endlessly, stars scattered like distant lanterns across a sea of velvet darkness. For a moment, you feel suspended between worlds, standing in a circle of knowledge built by human hands, while the infinite universe watches silently from above. A sense of calm wonder settles over you. You take a slow breath in, cool air filling your lungs, and release it just as slowly. The candle flame flickers once, responding to your movement, before settling again into stillness. On a nearby shelf rests a collection of journals, their covers wrapped in soft, faded cloth. You select one gently, feeling the fragile texture beneath your fingertips. Opening it carefully, you find pages filled with flowing handwriting, observations of daily life from centuries past, simple moments preserved with care, the way morning light touched the rooftops, the distant sound of market bells at dusk, the comfort of warm tea on winter evenings. Small details made meaningful through attention. It reminds you that history is not only grand events and monumental discoveries, but also quiet human experiences, soft reflections, and gentle attempts to understand the world. You close the journal slowly, returning it to its resting place. Nothing here demands to be taken. Everything waits patiently to be noticed. You leave the circular room as quietly as you entered, stepping back into the narrow passageway. The larger library welcomes you once more, its vastness no longer overwhelming but comforting. Familiar, like returning to a peaceful dream after a brief awakening. Somewhere nearby, a clock ticks softly, not sharply, not insistently, but with a slow, steady rhythm that feels almost like breathing. Tick, pause, tick. A gentle reminder that time continues its journey, even in places devoted to preserving the past. You follow the gallery as it curves toward a tall, arched window. Outside, a soft mist drifts across a quiet courtyard garden. Stone pathways wind between trimmed hedges, and a central fountain reflects the moonlight in rippling patterns. The world beyond seems hushed, as though the presence of this ancient library has softened everything around it. You rest your hand lightly against the cool glass. It feels grounding, steady, real. Inside, warmth and knowledge. Outside, night air and drifting fog. Both peaceful, both unhurried. You remain there for a moment, simply observing the gentle stillness of the scene, allowing your thoughts to slow further, like leaves settling on calm water. Eventually you turn back toward the heart of the library. There is more to explore, more quiet corners, more forgotten rooms where stories rest patiently in the dark. And with each step, your mind goes lighter, your breathing steadier, your body more at ease. This journey asks nothing of you, no effort, no analysis, only gentle awareness and the simple comfort of wandering through spaces shaped by centuries of quiet thought. You move onward, deeper into the peaceful labyrinth of shelves and lantern light, ready to discover what calm wonders await around the next corner. You follow the curve of the gallery, moving without hurry, allowing the quiet to guide you rather than direction. The lanterns here glow softer, their amber light dimmed to a gentle hush, as though encouraging slower steps and quieter thoughts. The shelves go taller again, stretching upward into shadow, their highest volumes hidden in darkness near the ceiling. Somewhere far above, wood settles with a faint, familiar creak, a small reminder that even ancient places continue to breathe and shift with time. Your fingertips trail lightly across the spines of books as you walk, feeling subtle ridges in embossed lettering, cool impressions where metal clasps hold heavy covers closed, and soft cloth bindings worn smooth by countless careful hands. You pause at a section where the books are noticeably older. Their leather is paler, edges softened and rounded, pages slightly uneven, like waves frozen in paper. One volume rests slightly apart from the others, tilted gently, as though waiting patiently to be noticed. You lift it carefully. A faint sigh of dust rises into the warm lantern light, swirling lazily before settling again. The cover is delicate, its surface etched with a pattern of vines and tiny flowers, faded almost beyond sight. Inside, the pages whisper as they turn. Thin parchment, light as feathers, covered in careful script, written with steady hands long ago. Illustrations appear between passages of text, painted with natural pigments that have softened beautifully over time. Deep blues made from crushed minerals, earthy reds from clay-rich soils, gentle yellows like sunlight filtered through autumn leaves. The images depict quiet scenes of daily life. Scholars seated beneath trees reading scrolls, travelers mapping distant lands by candlelight, craftspeople shaping tools with focused patience. It is not grand history, but gentle humanity, preserved in ink and colour. You close the book slowly, feeling its reassuring weight in your hands, before returning it to its resting place. A sense of connection lingers, a quiet thread tying present to past. You continue onward. The air here carries a slight chill, cool stone walls tempering the warmth of lantern light. Your breathing forms slow, steady rhythms, soft and unhurried. Ahead, a long corridor stretches between towering shelves, its length softened by alternating pools of light and shadow. At the far end, a faint golden glow flickers more brightly, drawing you forward with gentle curiosity. As you approach, the corridor widens into a grand reading hall. The ceiling arches high overhead, supported by elegant stone columns, carved with delicate patterns of leaves and flowing script. Long wooden tables fill the space, their polished surfaces reflecting the warm shimmer of dozens of candles. Chairs sit neatly arranged, each one patiently waiting, as though readers have only just stepped away for a quiet pause. Open books rest where they were left, pages marked by silk ribbons, quills placed carefully beside inkwells of deep midnight blue. This room feels alive with quiet purpose, a sanctuary of thought, of reflection, of minds moving gently across ideas like boats drifting across still water. You walk between the tables slowly, not wishing to disturb the delicate stillness. A globe stands near the center of the hall, its surface painted in muted earth tones, maps of continents drawn as they were once understood. Familiar shapes appear slightly different, coastlines less certain, borders marked with tentative ink. It is a reminder that knowledge is always evolving, that understanding grows softly over generations, shaped by those willing to observe patiently. You give the globe a gentle turn. It spins slowly, quietly, oceans and lands passing beneath your fingertips in a calm, steady rhythm. Eventually it slows, coming to rest without sound. Nearby, a fireplace glows within a carved stone hearth. Embers pulse softly beneath stacked logs, radiating a comforting warmth that spreads gently through the hall. The flames move lazily, curling and stretching with quiet grace, casting flickering shadows that dance across tabletops and walls. You settle into a nearby chair, its wooden frame sturdy and grounding. The warmth of the fire meets the coolness of the stone floor, creating a perfect balance of comfort. For a while you simply sit, listening. The soft crackle of burning wood, the faint rustle of settling pages, the nearly silent hum of stillness that ancient places seem to hold within their walls. Your shoulders loosen, your jaw softens. Thoughts drift more slowly now, like clouds gliding across a vast open sky. A deep sense of calm settles over you, steady and reassuring. There is no pressure here to learn, no demand to remember, only the gentle presence of knowledge surrounding you, like a quiet forest of ideas offering shade and shelter. Time feels generous in this place, unfolding without urgency. You notice a staircase at the far side of the hall, wider than the others, its steps lined with a soft woven runner that quiets each footfall. A small sign carved into polished wood reads simply, "Archives." The word carries a quiet gravity, a promise of deeper history, older memories, and stories resting far beneath the surface of everyday thought. You rise slowly, drawn forward not by urgency, but by a calm desire to continue wandering. Step by step, you descend. The air cools gradually as you move lower, and the warm glow of candlelight softens into a gentle amber haze. The sounds of the reading hall fade behind you, replaced by a deeper stillness, a stillness that feels heavier, older, like the quiet found beneath ancient earth. At the base of the staircase, a vast chamber opens before you, the archives. Endless rows of carefully labeled boxes, shelves filled with sealed scrolls, drawers containing maps, letters, and records of lives once lived. Everything preserved with care, everything waiting patiently. Lanterns hang at intervals along the walls, their light low and steady, creating an atmosphere of peaceful reverence. You walk slowly between the rows, aware that each step carries you deeper into preserved memory. Here lie the small moments of history, personal letters sealed with wax, journals filled with private reflections, records of births, journeys, discoveries, and quiet everyday routines. Lives captured not in monuments, but in moments. You run your fingers lightly along the edge of a wooden archive drawer, feeling the subtle grain beneath your touch. And you pause, simply appreciating the vastness of human experience resting quietly around you. A gentle reminder that every life leaves soft traces, and every story matters. You move deeper into the archives, steps unhurried, breathing slow and steady in the cool, preserved air. The lanterns glow softly along the stone walls, their light warm but restrained, as if careful not to disturb the fragile memories resting here. Shadows stretch between the shelves, long and gentle, like quiet guardians watching over centuries of human stories. The scent changes slightly. Less candle smoke now, more aged paper and polished wood. A dry, comforting aroma that speaks of careful preservation. Each shelf is neatly ordered, labeled in delicate handwriting upon small ivory plaques. Dates, locations, names long faded from common speech. You pause beside one row, reading the markings slowly. Personal correspondence, Northern Provinces. The words feel intimate, like a whisper meant only for those who seek it with patience. You slide open a narrow drawer. Inside rests a bundle of letters tied with a simple linen thread. The paper is thick and textured, edges feathered with time. You lift the bundle gently. It feels light, yet carries the quiet weight of lives once lived, moments once cherished. Carefully, you untie the thread. The first letter unfolds with a soft rustle, its creases deep but graceful. Ink flows across the page in elegant loops and lines, each word shaped with care and intention. Though the language is old, the feeling is familiar. A parent writing to a distant child, a traveler describing unfamiliar landscapes, a friend sharing small comforts from home, simple connections reaching across distance and uncertainty. You do not read closely. Instead, you let the presence of the letter speak, its texture beneath your fingertips, its faint scent of ink and parchment, its quiet reminder that people have always reached for one another through words. You fold it gently, returning it to its companions. The bundle rests once more in its place, thread tied loosely, as though grateful for careful hands. Moving onward, you pass tall cabinets filled with rolled maps. Their edges peek out like layered ribbons, softly colored in faded blues, greens, and sepia tones. One map lies partially unfurled across a wide oak table. Its surface shows oceans drawn with swirling ink patterns, mountains sketched as delicate ridges, forests marked by clusters of tiny trees. The borders are decorated with intricate compass roses and sea creatures imagined by artists long ago. You trace a river's path lightly with your finger, following its winding journey from distant hills to open sea. There is something soothing about these careful lines, about the quiet effort to understand landscapes never fully seen. Maps are hopeful things. They suggest that the world can be explored gently, that unknown spaces can be approached with curiosity rather than fear. You let the map rest, its parchment settling with a faint whisper. Nearby, a row of glass-fronted cases displays fragile artifacts, quills with feather tips still intact, small bottles of powdered pigments, wax seals bearing family crests pressed centuries earlier, tiny tools once used by scribes to trim parchment edges. Each object tells a quiet story of dedication, of patient craftsmanship, of minds focused on preserving thought for future generations. You notice how carefully everything has been kept, not polished to perfection, not restored to appear new, but protected with respect for age and authenticity. Time is not hidden here, it is honored. You continue along a narrow aisle where shelves rise nearly to the ceiling. A rolling ladder rests nearby, its brass rails cool and softly gleaming. You climb slowly, each step steady and deliberate. From above, the archive stretches outward like a quiet ocean of memory. Rows flowing into shadows, lanterns glowing like distant ships on calm waters. You reach for a small wooden box placed high upon a shelf. Its surface is smooth, corners rounded by years of gentle handling. Inside, you find tiny notebooks filled with sketches, botanical studies of delicate plants, careful drawings of birds mid-flight, architectural outlines of buildings that may no longer stand. Moments of observation captured with patience and care. You turn the pages slowly. Each sketch feels like a quiet act of attention, a reminder that beauty often reveals itself to those who pause long enough to see it. Closing the box, you return it to its place, ensuring it rests safely among its companions. Descending the ladder, you feel grounded, present, calmly aware of the gentle continuity between past and present. At the end of the aisle, a heavy velvet curtain hangs from a curved brass rail. Its deep burgundy fabric absorbs the lantern light, creating a soft, inviting shadow beyond. You draw the curtain aside. Behind it lies a narrow stone passageway, lit by small recessed lamps set low along the walls. The air here feels cooler still, touched with a faint mineral freshness. Your footsteps echo softly, each sound absorbed quickly by the thick stone surroundings. The passage slopes gently downward, leading toward a rounded wooden door bound with iron bands. You rest your hand upon its surface. The wood is cool, solid, reassuringly strong. With a gentle push, the door opens inward without resistance. Inside awaits a circular chamber unlike the others. The ceiling forms a smooth dome overhead, painted with a mural of constellations in delicate gold leaf. Shelves curve around the walls, filled with volumes bound in pale leather that among glows in the soft light. At the center stands a stone pedestal, upon which rests a single, enormous book. Its cover is thick and textured, edges reinforced with brushed metal, a quiet symbol of importance without decoration. You approach slowly. A sense of calm reverence settles around you, not awe that overwhelms, but quiet respect for something carefully preserved. You place your hand upon the cover. It is cool, steady, grounding, and for a moment you simply stand there, breathing gently beneath the painted stars above, feeling connected to centuries of quiet learning and thoughtful preservation. There is no need to open the book. Its presence alone is enough, a symbol of accumulated understanding, of human curiosity carried carefully across generations. You step back slowly, allowing the stillness of the chamber to settle around you like a soft blanket. And in that peaceful pause, you realize the journey is not about reaching an end, but about moving gently through spaces that invite reflection, calm, and quiet appreciation. You remain for a while beneath the painted constellations, breathing slowly, your gaze drifting across delicate patterns of starlight traced in gold. The chamber feels suspended outside ordinary time, held in a quiet pause between past and present. The great book rests silently before you, steady and composed, as though it has nothing to prove, nothing to demand. It simply exists, a patient keeper of knowledge. Eventually, you turn gently toward the surrounding shelves. The volumes here are arranged with unusual care, each one spaced evenly, their pale bindings reflecting the lantern glow like soft moonlight. There are no titles stamped in gold, no decorative flourishes, just simple, unadorned covers, inviting curiosity without expectation. You select one at random. It opens easily, pages thick and smooth beneath your fingertips. Inside are not dense passages of text, but wide margins and carefully spaced lines, as though the book was designed for unhurried reading and quiet contemplation. The words speak of ordinary moments, morning light filtering through curtains, the hush of snowfall over sleeping towns, footsteps echoing softly along empty streets at dusk, a kettle warming beside a winter hearth. Simple scenes, rendered with gentle attention, reminding you that calm is often found in the unnoticed spaces of everyday life. You turn another page slowly, and another. Each passage feels like a soft exhale, releasing tension you did not realize you were holding. There's nothing dramatic here, no urgency, no conflict demanding resolution, just a steady invitation to observe quietly, to exist peacefully within small and gentle experiences. You close the book halfway, holding your place with a single finger. Around you, the circular chamber remains perfectly still. Lantern light glows softly against curved stone walls, and the painted constellations shimmer faintly overhead. A quiet doorway opens into a familiar corridor of shelves and lanterns. You recognize this space now, not as somewhere vast or overwhelming, but as somewhere welcoming. Like returning to a peaceful garden you have wandered many times before. The library seems softer than when you first entered, more intimate, more understanding of your presence within it. You walk slowly past reading tables and quiet alcoves, past shelves filled with centuries of preserved thought, past windows where moonlight continues its gentle watch over the silent courtyard. Everything remains as it was, and yet it feels different, not because the space has changed, but because you have softened into its rhythm. Your breathing matches the hush of the room. Your steps fall in harmony with its stillness. A deep sense of quiet belonging settles gently within you. Near the entrance hall, you find a small side door, slightly ajar. Curiosity draws you closer. Beyond it lies a narrow balcony overlooking the night sky. Cool air greets you softly, brushing your skin with refreshing calm. Above, stars shimmer across a vast velvet expanse, their light distant yet steady. The world outside feels peaceful, quiet rooftops bathed in silver light, trees swaying gently in a breeze too soft to hear, the hush of night wrapping everything in calm. You rest your hands lightly on the cool stone railing and simply observe. No thoughts to chase, no plans to arrange, just the steady presence of night and the gentle comfort of stillness. The journey through the library lingers within you, like a memory already softened by time, a reminder that quiet spaces still exist, that calm can be found not by escaping the world, but by moving through it more gently. After a while, you step back inside. The warm glow of lanterns welcomes you once more. You pass through the entrance hall slowly, noticing again the tall arches, the polished floors, the silent watch of shelves standing patiently through centuries. At last, you reach the great wooden doors. They stand as they did before, solid and reassuring. You place your hand upon the cool iron handle and pause, taking one final slow breath in and out, carrying with you the quiet weight of peaceful moments, soft reflections, and the gentle understanding that knowledge and calm often walk hand in hand. With a steady movement, you open the door. Cool night air greets you kindly. The doors close behind with a low, gentle sound, and the library remains quiet and patient, ready to welcome future wanderers seeking calm among its endless shelves. Your steps carry you onward into the peaceful night, breathing slow, mind light, heart steady, and the stillness stays with you long after the journey has ended. Thank you for listening to Stories for Sleep by Calm Curiosities. We look forward to hosting you again soon. Good night, sweet dreams, rest well.